What's up? So today I have one of the most up-and-coming agents who's been killing in the real estate game. His name is Aftaab Dhillon, aka the Off-Market King. And today I'm going to be asking him a lot of questions in terms of what he's been doing in real estate, what his day-to-day life looks like, and what he thinks about, all the questions that you would want to know in terms of the real estate industry, his personal life, getting to know his mindset and things like that. So very, very excited to have you, Aftaab.
I'm excited to get started.
Yeah, I know. So let's do this. We wanted to do a YouTube video for a very long time. So this is going to be our first video out of many of the videos that are going to be coming out soon. So if you don't know, me and Aftaab work together. We are with our crew, Armani and Associates, where we have a lot of fun in-house, where we literally take over different cities, different provinces, and we sell a lot of real estate throughout Canada and also US as of now. So Aftaab, introduce yourself. Tell everybody who you are. What they already know you as the off-market king. He's a specialist at getting off-market deals, and there's been a lot of new and interesting stuff that's been happening in Aftaab's life. So we want to kind of poke in, trying to get you guys to a full eye view of what's happening with him in his life, because a lot of people are curious, and I think they want to know. So let's give them insight to it.
Yeah, I show a lot of my life, not all of it, so people never really know what's going on.
Yeah.
But you pretty much know the most because we're always together.
Yeah.
But a lot of it's, I guess, is going to come out in this video.
Yeah. We spend, for those of you guys that don't know, I think out of 24 hours in a day, we're together at least 10 to 15 hours in a day at all times.
Easily.
Like, if you asked me if I had a girlfriend, I would say it would be Aftaab, and vice versa. So, alright, so start off with so what's new? What's going on in your life? What's real estate looking like in 2022 for you? What's the scoop? What's the inside scoop on Aftaab Dhillon's life right now?
Well, 2022, I see a lot of opportunity. Just trying to make some big moves right now, trying to acquire as much as I can.
Yeah.
Well, there's a dip in the market. A lot of people are scared. Perfect time for someone like me to get in and acquire as much as I can.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, he just moved to the city, which we live in now together, in the city of Windsor. We both used to live at Brampton before. So this is a big transition because we were Toronto based, we were living in Brampton our entire lives. We both kind of uprooted ourselves and moved to Windsor. Yeah. So why the move to Windsor for you? I know what it was for me, but for you right now, this is all we want to know. Why did you decide to go to Windsor, and what was the process like? Why did you think this was the right time to move to a smaller city rather than living in a city like Brampton where you're used to growing up?
When I first started thinking about it, I was thinking about the opportunities here, especially investing in real estate. But then when we started coming down here and spending more time here, I saw the lifestyle changes that you get here. It's so much better. We live by the water. We go on the water all the time. We can go to Detroit, travel a lot easier. Yeah. Lifestyle is just way better. Down there, you sneeze and your neighbor says, "Bless you."
Yeah.
Out here, you have space to breathe.
For those of you who don't know, Brampton houses are literally like, no matter how big or how small of a house you have, you're most likely going to be like this far away from your neighbor because all the houses are subdivision lots, and unless you're like living in an estate lot, which only 1% of the people are in Brampton, the majority of the people live in communities where you have a neighbor right next to you. We have neighbors here right next to us as well, but there's a lot more free area to maneuver and move around. Lot sizes are a lot bigger, so that's definitely good for a change.
And people are so much nicer here.
Oh yeah. For sure. I feel like people in Windsor are just a lot more nicer because they have less financial stress.
Oh, 100%. They're more laid back. They're not stressing all the time.
Yeah.
When you have less worries financially, everything else is stressful.
Oh, for sure. Because especially over there, I feel like there's a lot of immigrant population, and they don't have a choice but to work 2 to 3 jobs. And the main purpose or the main focus of a family living over there, for majority of the people at least, is just making sure the household runs.
Yeah,
and a lot of people are stressed.
Yeah, and they're burnt out. And when you get burnt out, you lash out on people around you, and that's what you see in those bigger cities.
Exactly. And that's where the lifestyle, I think, also is different, because people over there, it's very expensive to live in a city like that, just because the house prices are so much more higher than house prices for what you can buy in Windsor. So drastically, the difference in just the correlated cost of price, I feel like people are working so much harder just to sustain their household and to make sure they're afloat, because they have mortgage payments, and the mortgages are huge compared to houses here.
Yeah,
right. For sure. Just think about what you could get for. So, just for example, what house did you live in Brampton, and what did you sell it for, and what did you buy here, and what was the square footage difference, and like what was the difference in terms of price and the space?
Yeah, so in Brampton, the house I had was about a 40 by 70 foot lot.
Okay.
Sold it for 1.3. It was a average size home, just about 3,000 square feet.
Yeah.
Now the house I got here is a 70 by 140 lot.
Yeah.
Way bigger.
Yeah.
I bought it for, it was like $850, $875, somewhere in there.
And your house is nice.
Yeah, and way bigger, better house.
Yeah.
And it made so much sense.
Exactly. So you literally doubled your square footage of the lot just alone right there. And then the price, you took off, you shaved off $500,000.
Yeah, exactly.
So $500,000 in savings
Yeah.
in terms of your mortgage is a big difference.
Exactly.
So you pretty much have to work a lot less harder to live and upgrade your lifestyle.
Oh, 1,000%,
right?
yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people there, like all our families, I'm Indian, he's Indian. Even if you don't need to rent your basement, it just becomes a thing where people just rent your basements and add like the house hack.
Yeah.
So house hacking is a very common thing in cities like Mississauga, Toronto. It's very common. And you know, they just, like if you ask us if we ever use our basements, I don't think we ever use our basements back there.
I spent so much money on my basement. I think I threw almost $100K at my basement, made it top notch, and I never go in there.
Yeah. Here or over there?
No,
okay.
Here. Over there, yeah. Over there, I used that basement all the time because there was no space to move around. You had to go to the basement.
Yeah, you were actually one of the only people that didn't rent the basements, even in Brampton.
Yeah.
So you guys had a good lifestyle there as well. Like, we lived in a 6,000 square foot house in Brampton, and I still rented my basements. We had 2 basement apartments. We kept one to ourselves, and we still rented one just because it's a thing to do. And it was just, created extra income, pays for the regular expenses. It's a great way to house hack and to gather income just to, supplement some of your day-to-day expenditure. So, that's really cool. So what is it like right now in terms of your friends, family? I'm sure you left a lot of friends and family back home in Brampton. Yeah. How are you dealing with that?
Well, at the start, honestly, it wasn't too difficult for me because we were already friends. We were hanging out all the time. Yeah. So we came together. So it was like direct transition. If anything, we moved actually closer than we were back there.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we ended up, now I could just run to your house if I need to. Yeah. Down there, it was a drive no matter what. Yeah. But the people who were scared was the rest of my family. Like both my parents, my sisters, they did not want to move here. Yeah. They were so scared. My sisters, I actually took them to the university area, showed them like a crack house, and I was like, guys, this is the house I got. And my sister was just crying. She's like, what did he do? And then I brought him to this side of the city,
which is what's
Lakeshore.
Lakeshore. Yeah. So the crazy part is, for people that don't know, if you come to Windsor, a lot of people associate Windsor with just the downtown core of Windsor, which is right underneath the Ambassador Bridge. And a lot of people that go down to the Ambassador Bridge, they get worried because they're like, wait, this is all Windsor is? And Windsor is just 100-year-old wartime homes, and this is where we're gonna live. But that is such a misconception because Windsor actually is a beautiful city. You have to check out areas like LaSalle, like Lakeshore, and Tecumseh. There's a lot of new development and houses. Like, there's billionaires that live in the city. Yeah. For those of you that don't know, there's legit a billionaire right behind us.
Exactly.
Right now. And it's crazy to think, a guy like that would even live. He can live anywhere in the world. Why would he choose to live here, right? So obviously there is something that attracted him to be in the city, and it's not just the the proximity to the border is obviously one of those things, but it's just a lifestyle here is very nice, laid back. Yep. But people are really nice. Yep. You have a lot of things to do. You have the water right available to you right away. So like if you want to go on the water, the boating culture here is very huge. It's fun.
Yeah, every time I post stories of when we're out on the water and the boat parties going on, people are always like, "Are you in Miami?" Because that's where you see that kind of lifestyle.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, Windsor also has 4 to 6 weeks more of summer than other cities. So if you're in Toronto, if you're in Brampton, we get warmth for 4 to 6 weeks more, and it's usually more milder winters here rather than
for sure. We don't get deep snow maybe once or twice in a winter season, but easily clears out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And in terms of so tell me a little bit about now let's dig in a little bit more deeper now into your portfolio and stuff. So I know you got into real estate. How long ago? About a year ago now?
Yeah, just over a year.
Wow. Yeah. And in that year, so we started off in Toronto. That's where we started off. And then when you came here. So when you were in Toronto, talk about the real estate possibilities that you had available to you as an investor, not as a realtor, and how did that change by you moving to a smaller city like Windsor? Yeah,
so back in Toronto, whenever you talk to any other person in real estate, the first thing you heard was invest in pre-construction condos. That's the main thing. Everyone runs off that. Anyone's dad, uncle, brother, sister, they're always like, "Oh yeah, I just bought a pre-con.
Why? Why do you think that is?
It's just easily accessible. Yeah. They're buying projects way down the line, hoping for that down the line money, which works. Yeah. I'm not saying it's wrong, but when we started looking at Windsor and you were showing me the opportunities here, I was like, wow, why am I going to wait for 4 or 5 years from now for the project to finish up when I can start developing those assets and making that money now.
Exactly. But the main reason also is I think a lot of people are capped out in terms of their mortgages that they can buy in a city like Toronto, because just the cost value, like of what you're buying. A condo is costing you $600,000 starting. If a condo, like a bachelor or one bed, is costing you $600K, people that are just starting off investing, it's a big mortgage. They cannot get qualified for that.
Yeah.
So what they try to do is they try to put money away into a pre-con project, and then they wait over 3 to 4 years where they can save up enough down payment.
Yeah.
But now think about it. You wasted 4 years of your life on one investment, right? Whereas moving to a city like Windsor, what you did is you can find a full house for $300,000 where you can literally have a mortgage that is half of what you would buy that condo for. It'd be very easy to qualify for that mortgage. And on top of that, that mortgage is being paid off by the tenants just because the rent is double of what you would actually get in Toronto for the same $600,000 condo. Like for a $300,000 house, you can still get $2,500 rents plus utilities. And that covers your mortgages and all expenses. So you're pretty much netting $0 out of your pocket, but you're netting a lot of money in your pocket from cash flow perspective. And that expedites your investment process.
Yeah, if you're smart with the cash flow, as well as you take into account the appreciation, you can grow your portfolio so fast.
Exactly. Over here, you're making money 3 ways. Over there, when you're buying pre-con, you're only making money 1 way, which is appreciation. Over here, you're making principal pay down, right? And you're getting money in terms of appreciation on top of that. And then you're also getting cash flow on top of that. So you're making money 3 ways. So 3 ways to 1. That was good enough reason for me and you to move down here. And so to talk about your life now, a year later after the move to Windsor, how many properties do you have now from where you started a year ago, and how crazy has that experience been? And you just bought another property, so congratulations.
Thank you.
And you stole that property.
Yeah, that was a steal.
Right? So we want to get back to that property a little later, but just talk about your portfolio, how it started off when you first started a year ago to now. Think about how much more you know, right? And what was that building of your portfolio like? Yeah,
even right off the bat, I remember right away I was being very picky trying to find a house, and then you were like, just go buy something. And I went out the next day, bought a single family house. And I was like, oh shit, I just bought a house.
And why did you buy that house though? Because why did I tell you to just go buy something?
Because you were like, it's gonna make money. Everything, most of the things are cash flowing. You're like, just run the numbers and buy it.
Exactly.
I went there. I was being picky over little things. I'm not living in this house. I'm renting it out.
Right.
If the numbers work, I should buy.
Exactly.
And then the next day I ran the numbers on this house. I was like, it's making money. I'll just buy this one.
Yeah.
I got it at. It was a good deal at that time as well.
A great deal at the time. And that time the market was really hard to get into. So what you got at the time was, and this was a 5% play. So that's why I told him at 5%. It's irrelevant what you're buying, just work on your numbers. You have to be very detached from the property emotionally. You can't be emotionally attached to a property and thinking about the things that you want in a property that you would want to live in. Because this is not for your purpose to live in this property. This was for your purpose to solely make money and generate income from.
Exactly.
So if it made sense for 5% play, and look at it now, how much is it cash flowing you a month on that first property?
Oh, it's cash flowing easily $1,000, and I still haven't finished the basement just because that cash flow from the upper side is enough to not bother me to go in and finish the basement.
Exactly. So 5% down payment, taking the power of investing. 5% down payment, first time home buyer, bought his first property at 5% down again. I'm going to reiterate 5% down at $400K. What is 5% of $400K?
5% for about
$20,000. $20,000 is giving him $1,000 a month in cash flow after everything being paid off. So in 1 year, he recaptures $12,000 of just cash flow. So in 1 year, he has over 50% of his down payment back in his pocket. The house is literally free in 2 years. And it's still paying itself off, and it's just a constant money-making machine.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And then from the first property, since you saw that, how well that worked out, now you went to your second and third, and on and on. And he just bought another property. And this property is very cool. This property he bought in a creative financing way, which is called a vendor take-back agreement. It's a VTB. So talk a little bit more about that experience.
So I had about $170,000 that I did a cash out refinance for, and I was looking for the right multifamily play to put it in because interest rates are higher, numbers are tighter, so you really got to find a good deal. I ended up finding a duplex. I was looking for something bigger, but this deal was too good to let go. It was a duplex that I negotiated down to $335,000. So $335,000 for a legal duplex.
Wow, which is Like by any standards, even in this market,
Yeah.
one of the very, very hardest impossible deals to find because duplexes are still ranging from 400 to 550 range.
Yeah.
And 400 is like on the lower end of, you know, stuff that needs work. So for you to find that at that price, you made money on the buy right away.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a big duplex because the upper unit is a full 3-bedroom with living spaces, kitchen, bathroom, everything.
Yeah.
And downstairs is the same setup with just 2 bedrooms.
Yeah, and the location is prime. It's very close to university, so it can be rented to either students or it could be rented to families to live in. So that was a great buy. So in terms of the down payment, how did you structure that? Because so to talk about how you found the property, how did you source this? What was your thought process like, and how did you end up acquiring this asset?
So this property wasn't listed. It was off market, of course.
Off market king, aka Aftaab Dhillon.
My favorite thing is whenever you find off market properties, you can make the deal work for you. It's not listed. There's no bidding wars. You're not arguing with other people in the transaction trying to overbid you or like ruin your deal essentially, right? Yeah. So I'm dealing with the seller one-on-one. I'm not even acting as my own realtor. I'm acting as my realtor, but we're not doing it like a normal real estate transaction. I actually called the lawyers. We dealt with the lawyers. They did the whole transaction. And the way we set it up was I gave him $100,000 down, which is well above 20% down for a property like this. However, he gave me a 5-year fixed mortgage at a 3% rate.
And just so you know, at the time of this recording of this video, what is the interest rates right now for mortgage?
They're running between 5.2 to all the way to 5.7.
That's crazy. So he negotiated a 3% rate when the banks, as a first mortgagee, is giving you over 5% rates. So you're saving money on your principal just by paying, you know, he's holding the mortgage for you essentially instead of going to the bank. He gives you the mortgage, you give him the $100,000 and the rest of the portion, because the guy who owned this property previously, he had this property paid off. So he's a mortgage holder on that property and he's making monthly payments to that guy as the bank. So for 5 years at 3% and he locked that interest rate in, that's unheard of. So and the property, the price that you got it for on top of that?
Yeah, exactly. I think about it like the mortgage amount on it is $235. Yeah. Because it closed a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. And I was like $235. Before that would have been a huge amount, but now I'm thinking about it, I was like, that's a minimal mortgage.
Oh, that's nothing.
Yeah, that's nothing.
If you just rent one of the units, right, that pays your entire cost up front, and the other units just that's your fun play money.
Yeah, because right now my mortgage and expenses are coming to just under $1,000 all in. Which that's less than my car payments. So for less than my car payments, I'm getting a whole legal duplex, and just one unit. I already have tenants lined up to pay me $1,500 plus utilities, without even going in and doing any extensive rentals or anything.
So in other words, a Lamborghini Huracan or a Lamborghini Aventador is coming soon on its way because we just increased the cash flow to a point where there's so much extra buffer that he's making now, so he should live a little bit, right? Wrong. No, we're going to take that money, we're going to reinvest it, double down, triple down, and then over time you're going to build a massive portfolio, and then after you build that massive portfolio, that cash flows. Imagine having 10 houses like this. You don't need to work anymore. In Canada, what do you think is like a number that you would need to have a very comfortable living? Like you don't have to, like you don't, nobody owns your time anymore. What's that number in Canada? A month.
A month? If you're making even 10 grand,
I think so too. Yeah,
10 grand a month. If you're making, no one owns your time.
Yeah, at 10 grand a month, I think you can have a very comfortable living.
Yeah, comfortable.
Very comfortable living at $10,000 a month, because at $10,000 a month, it allows you to do, you know, a lot of things. Obviously, you can have a lavish lifestyle, but you can have a comfortable living at $10K a month, right?
And that's passively.
That's passively.
Yeah.
So
passively.
If you're making $1,000 on one property, now if you have 3 or 4 properties and you're making $1,000 upwards of $1,500, depending on, let's just say $1,000 a month cash flow. Yeah. And you got 10 properties built up, and let's just say 5 years, which is a very realistic goal.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, very realistic.
Right. Yeah. So 5 years, you build up 10 properties. That's it.
Yeah.
10 properties giving you $10K a month.
Yeah.
What else can you ask for?
Yeah, it's super comfortable lifetime. At that point, that's where you'd work out of passion, not out of necessity.
Exactly. And I feel like that's what a lot of people have to do, is they have to get out of the rat race that they're in, because they don't comprehend. You know, if you associate your time with money always, and you're selling your time for money, you're never going to get out of the rat race. You have to either be, you know, in business for yourself, or you have to think of yourself as an investor for you to break that mold of what's been traditionally taught to us. And that's something that, you know, us being this age and breaking that mold already, like I've been financially retired for the last 6 years, right? You know my true situation. This is not just to brag, but this is something that I've built because I've done my grind years way earlier, right? And Aftaab's financially free now because he actually built that for him, right? So that's been done in 1 year. He expedited all of that in 1 year. And that's crazy because a lot of people, you can't compare his journey with my journey with your journey. And that's what I think the mistake that people make is they compare themselves to other people. You have to go on a journey of your own, and you have to kind of embrace and enjoy the process of what you're going through, because that's the fun part. Those grind years are the days that you're going to remember at the end of the day, and you're going to say, here, remember those days when I used to do this? But you have to make small decisions over time that usually have a big impact. And these are small decisions that you're making, which might be a big decision to some. If you're buying one property and if you're on your first property, it looks like a very big daunting task, but it's actually not that scary. I would just encourage you to just get into the market and just get your feet wet and buy a property, but get the guidance that you need. So this is just one of the first videos that we wanted to create to try and give an insight into how we think, what we're doing in our day-to-day lives, especially for Aftaab. This was more about him today, so I wanted to make sure that you understand that people can just start and get involved into real estate. You don't have to be a realtor to be an investor. So investors, being an investor can change your life completely, and I think that's more significant. Real estate is something that people should get into only if they enjoy selling real estate, and that's completely two different things. But yeah, any last words for the people watching this video?
Yeah, no, earlier you start, the better it is. If I could accomplish this in 1 year, when I started when I was, let's say, 24 now, and now I'm 25. But imagine if I started when I was 20, I don't even know where I would be today. So
like 25 years old, look at how wise this guy is already. Like crazy, right? At 25, like it's crazy where you have to set these goals for yourself. And he actually was determined to set these goals for himself, surround himself with the right people, and that's how this happens. So you have to make that change and impact your life in a positive way. I'm really proud of what you're doing. You're absolutely crushing it. I want to see what the next 5 years look like for you, because that's going to be the most exciting part. So by the time you're 30, we're going to come back to this video, and we're going to see this video. We're going to say, damn.
Oh, yeah. We're going to laugh at this video. We're going to be like, oh, we were so short-minded.
Hopefully we'll be on a yacht somewhere recording this in the Caribbean or something, or Mexico, your favorite place, but we'll see. But I appreciate you as always. For all of you that want to follow Aftaab on all his socials are going to be down below in the link. So please make sure you check out all his Instagram, TikTok, the Off Market King. If you're looking for anything in Windsor is a home that we run and operate, and this is something that we do every day. We can literally show you guys how to curate and find and build your own portfolio, but not only in Windsor, and anywhere in Toronto, anywhere in GTA, Fort Lauderdale, America, and Florida, and Texas, you name it. We're literally expanding very heavily right now, so I'm very, very excited about what's coming up next, and we're going to be doing a lot more of these videos, a lot more regularly, of course, and I'm very excited to have you guys here, and stay tuned for the journey. Thank you for watching.